Before becoming the leader, writer and producer of the Electric Light Orchestra, Jeff Lynne was a member of The Move, a successful British group in the late 60s, and prior to that led a group called The Idle Race, a less than successful British group from the late 60s.
You know, I was 19, so I didn't have any experience at all about writing songs. All I could do was try and, this was like the underground thing, 1968, 69. It was like this underground thing, you've got to be really cool, man, and it's got to be like something weird, which it had to be at the time. You know, all that sort of era when everything was had to be as tuneless as possible and a bit strange. All the lyrics had to be strange. Well, it was a shame I had to start then, really, because it was a bit restricting in a way. That's my favourite thing to do, is to be in the studio, write songs and record them. That's all I ever want to do, really. I don't think we knew what we wanted in the first place anyway. All we were doing was a group with strings. At the time we formed it, all these other groups have got brass sections in the group, you know. And we decided to do something different with having a string section. This was like late 71, I think. The Move had actually finished then. We'd done a couple of singles. When I joined, The Move was sort of not really non-existent at the time anyway, because it didn't play live or anything. And so we made a couple of singles to sort of finance the formation of ELO, which was a disaster at the start. It was awful. And we did one tour in Italy, which lasted about a week, and it was the worst thing. It was like a shambles. We sounded terrible, to say the least. When we came back from that tour, Dan Arden, our manager, phoned us up and said that we'd been going about a month, I think, at the time, as a group. He phoned us up and said that Roy Wood had left, and he'd already got this other group. He never told me that he'd left, and everybody else knew except us, and he was already ready to start with this new group that he'd already formed, you know, with about 3 people out of that ELO that was at the time. Yeah. And so we decided to reform the group, and didn't know whether to call it ELO or call it something else, really. Could have called it anything. And we reformed it completely, me and Bev and Richard Tandy. And that's when we started again. But this is when it started, really, from about 1972, halfway through 72, when we really started properly. Yeah, I can't listen to the first or second album, except because they were all miles too long. All the songs were much too long and very pretentiously arranged. But I think the thing started with Eldorado, when they used a big orchestra. On some of the previous albums, I was maybe being a bit too pretentious and trying to please the wrong sort of people. Including, I wasn't pleasing myself at the time either, you know. But now I decided, since Eldorado, I decided to do things that I really liked, and fortunately, a lot of other people seem to like it too.
This new one, right, was pointed out to me that the title is either Discovery or Disco Very.
Richard sort of came up with the title, actually, our keyboard player, Discovery. Because, you know, we always sort of look for titles, and whatever anybody comes up with, everybody goes, ooh, horrible. But he also pointed out Disco Very, and then there's so many words in Discovery, there's like lots of them. And he was dissecting the whole thing and reading all these meanings into it, you know, just for fun, really. Disco Very. I love disco beat. I really do. You know, on a lot of records anyway. A lot of them are just rubbish, but there are some really fantastic disco records, as you know. I just wanted to do some Fall to the Bar bass drum, basically, because I love bang, bang, bang. Actually, that is a table tennis ball on a piece of glass on the table tennis table in the studio. The one noise is that. That's like as you know, you bounce a table tennis ball, it can go faster and faster. It's that. It's Mac throwing an ashtray through one of the screens that separate the drums off from the rest of the studio. And it's all edited together. And what else is it? It's a door slamming. And it's the other one is for the quiz. What's the other one?
On the Run, when you're listening to that, and suddenly at the end there's this really nice change. Was that there when you originally wrote it, or did you suddenly decide on that in the studio?
It wasn't done in the studio, it was done at, when we were rehearsing it. It's just one of those things. I suddenly started playing this little riff on the guitar, and it slowed it down, and it suddenly became a different beat altogether. and it was a nice thing to work on. Just basically a little accident. You know, just started playing something else at the end while everybody else was playing the same riff, and I was slowing it down, and everybody joined in. It felt really nice, you know. So it's one of those things that just came out of the blue.